welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. So excited to be with you on a Saturday, having fun, talking a little real estate. Hope everybody's had a great week. Thank you for tuning in this weekend. Got a good show for you. Always real estate. That being said, big Saturday for the Coleman household. We've got my daughter's championship game. Little Kinsley's playing championship game. Me and April are coaching the team and having a good time over there. And let's go Rockets. We're rooting on for our little Rocket team. And we're so proud of those girls this year. You know, coaching young ladies is a lot of work, a whole lot of work. And it's been a pleasure to deal with them. And so work with them and watch them grow. And so we were super, not only proud parents, but coaches, really rooting our girls on this weekend. So as a lot of you guys are, having your kids in tournaments and championships all around the area, it's that time in basketball and an exciting time, an exciting season, especially for the parents. So that going on, a lot of new real estate news. The Feds are talking about holding interest rates steady, but signals rate cuts may be coming soon. Federal Reserve held interest rates steady on Wednesday, but signaled that the rates could fall in the coming month as inflation continues to cool. Policymakers have kept their benchmark interest rates between 5.25 and 5.5%, the highest over 2 decades since July. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell told reporters Wednesday that the interest rates are unlikely to go any higher, and he and his colleagues are beginning to contemplate cutting rates. If the economy evolves broadly as expected, it will likely be appropriate to begin dialing back policy restraint at some point this year. Powell cautioned, however, the economy remains unpredictable and said that the central bank would proceed cautiously. So that is the news. Dow had a little bit of interest rates fear there. Stock market didn't like to hear what Jerome Powell had to come out and say. Do you ever watch that and watch the markets? If you're watching the stock market or, you know, CNBC or Fox Business, and they come on there, and it's like every time he comes out, if he says something great, it goes up. If not, it goes down. So the markets respond. So that's what happened. And then basically the Dow Jones average tumbled 317 points from that. And I think there's a lot of anticipation that the rates, what he signaled prior for the real estate market, was that there are going to be several cuts. I do think there's some political stuff going on there. We will have to see, but is signaling, not sure if he's going to make any cuts in March in their next meeting, but saying they've not decided. But a lot of investors are looking at possibly May. I think the rates are coming, but also indicated that rates are not going to rise. So that's good. So we got so much to cover. We'll start it with our real estate news there. And as the spring market is within not far away, that's kind of hard to believe. We're in February, guys. 1st January, all the snow, all the ice. One of my great clients talked about yesterday. He was like, I saw the sun. It's great to see the sun in East Tennessee. And isn't that true? We're glad to have some sun, some change of the weather. And the spring market's upon us. And we're talking about 10 tips getting ready for your house for the spring market. So 10 tips to get your house ready for the spring market in 2024. That's what we're talking about. But before we start our show, we got some congrats, got some new listings, got some great clients that we're helping and like to showcase. New listing on 2186 Bingham Island out in Sevierville. Make sure you check that property out. 5120 Luttrell Road, another great property. Make sure you check that property out in Knoxville. And then 115 Lunar Way, great property in Maryville. Large acreage. I think it's over 8 acres. Beautiful 2-story house. It's got a basement that's unfinished. Big detached garage. It's got solar panels. You got to make sure you check that out. What's also really cool about that property is you've got a farm. You got for some animals. No restrictions. Make sure you check that property. That's hitting this weekend, so you'll check it out on my website. 103 Brookview Drive, great property that's coming up. Definitely want to make sure you view that property online. Then 201 Wolfenberger Road. Then we've got 1833 Edwards Lane, new listing in Sevierville, and then 3532 Carson's Ridge Way out in Sevierville. Beautiful cabin that's coming on the market. Congrats to 2107 East Emory Road in Knoxville, under contract. Congrats. And then our great sellers and buyers. Selling, buying, a little stressful in that whole scenario. Strouts, great family there. And so we're working to getting theirs house sold. And then we were able to find one. with large acreage, what they were looking for their shop and for all of his, toys and things like that. And so we were able to get that under contract. Super congrats to them. They're just a sweet family. And then Yarnell Road, 605 Yarnell Road in Clinton sold. Congrats to our great seller. So glad to be with them. So we had a lot going on, a lot of things moving. Remember, you can check all those properties and so much more at ryancoleman.org. All right. So if you're tuning in first time in this show, you say, who's that guy on the radio? Who's that guy? Sometimes this week, I don't really know who I was. We were so busy. And that's what this year started with. 2024 has started with a boom. And I expect the real estate market, regardless of where the feds are talking about, to be stale. It's going to be a busy year. And so if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Ryan Coleman, Hometown Realty, and we do this little show. It's called Real Estate with Ryan, where we have fun. Been doing it almost 8 years running, and we talk a little real estate, have a little fun, and then talk about what the market's doing. I think one of the biggest things we do this show is the most important thing you can do in any market is have a great team. Have a great team working for you guys, helping you, whether you're buying, selling, whether it's your 5th home or 10th home, or it's your first home. Somebody that can walk you all the way through the process and help you. And not more than just a deal, right? Just a transaction. I know we're just real estate agents, but we really enjoy a lot of our clients and things we help. It's relationships, people, business, coaching young ladies, business in our contracting, things like that. It's always relationship. And if you can spend a little time in a relationship and invest in people, it always comes back tenfold. And that's why I appreciate you guys so long that have been following us for over 8 years on the radio and all of our past clients. It's relationships, and we're always here to help you. So check us out on News Talk 98.7 at 1. And then we got Talk Radio at 11 o'clock. Don't forget that, 92.3 FM. And, of course, you can check us out all the social channels out there. And we're there. And if you miss us, you can stream us or catch us on Google, Spotify, iTunes, and all that. All right, let's get into the show. So we're talking about 10 tips. Get your home ready for the spring. We know this year is going to be different as any because it's an election year. As you can see, we're only into February, and the feds were signaling that the rates were going to change, and now they're going to pause some of the stuff with overseas, signaling of wars, different things like that. So there's a lot of moving parts this year. And one of the most important parts, that is timing. Real estate is in timing. So if you sell at the right time with the most amount of buyers, more than likely, it's going to be the most opportune time to get the most money in the shortest period of time. We're talking about kiddos. That's really important because the kiddos, before you know it, isn't that hard to believe, guys, that the kiddos, it seemed like the kids were just in school. And now here it is February. So before you know it, before you know about it, kids are going to be back to school and getting out of school. And so we got parents now that are thinking about selling. Are we changing locations? Are we changing schools? Are we downsizing? Are we moving up? Combination? Are we coming from other areas out of state, right? And what areas and what school districts do we want to be? So we know the spring market is the best opportunity to attract the most amount of buyers. But this year, we want to make sure that we have our home tip-top shape, best condition, best pricing, and we start talking about marketing early. Start talking about your conversations with your real estate agent early. I'm meeting with somebody at Starbucks. They may be 6 or 8 months. I've had 2 meetings this week with great clients that may be selling this year, but probably further than 6 months out. And those conversations are having where, Ryan, where's the market? Let's have an idea of us meeting, putting a face with the name. And then have an idea and a plan of where the markets and where their home is. It's a very smart plan because when everything moves quickly and you're ready to put the house in the market, there's a lot to get going to get your house ready. From walkthrough, staging, decluttering. You get us out there. Maybe there's some things that we need to do. Maybe we need to depersonalize a little bit. Maybe there's some landscape. Maybe there's several things going on. So there's a lot of moving parts. And then add that into the mix. Guess what, Ryan? I've got to get a loan for the new one. I've got to buy something. My work is wanting me out there in 90 days, and we're in a different school district. So you can see why buying and selling can be one of the most stressful things that you can do. And so take on top of that, now I've got to deal with real estate agents and interviewing and this. So it can be an overwhelming and daunting task. So you want to get your agent and have that relationship, whether it's now 6, 8, 12 months, because they can help you. We just got one of our coaches coming in from UT we're helping and working on, and it's teamwork. He said, Ryan, I need this, need that. I said, no worries, coach. We've got you. We're going to take care of you. We're going to get this done. And so your team member can cover a lot of bases for you. Real estate's just, we think we're selling houses, but there's a lot of services and things our team can do as well. And if you're out there searching as we're coming into the break and talking more about this, we have our great app on our website, and we have some preferred vendors. So those are things that may help you this year. So make sure you check that out. We're coming on the second half. Make sure you stay with us. Real Estate with Ryan.
There's no place like home, and this basketball house is special. The great games, players, championships, it's a true home court advantage.
I'm Ryan Coleman. Both basketball and real estate take great drive and determination. Whether you're in the market to buy or sell a home,
let Hometown Realty give you the home court advantage.
Hometown Realty is East Tennessee's #1 real estate group and a proud sponsor of the Vols.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty. The real estate market's changing every day. You need to know your home's value in today's market. Text your home address to 290-2290 for an instant, no-obligation home evaluation. That's 865-290-2290. And remember, when you're ready to sell, we have a guaranteed sale program to get you in your next home stress-free. Trust your hometown experts. We've helped thousands of people just like you. All right, we're back at it, Real Estate with Ryan. Thank you for staying with us. Breaks always go quick when you're talking, so much going on. But we do have a good show. We're talking about 10 tips getting your house ready for spring. So we're going to dive more into that content. And try not to go on too long, but appreciate you being with us. Hope you're having a great Saturday. Got UT Sports, Laval update. We're going to go 60-second. Drum roll, please. All right, men's basketball. Big game. 8:30. I'm sure all y'all are watching the game tonight versus Kentucky. Go Vols. Dalton Knecht chosen for Julius Erving Small Forward of the Year top 10 list. Is he on fire, dropping 30-plus points? If you haven't had a chance to watch him, the kid's amazing. He's probably top 5, top 7 draft pick. And we're so glad to have him. Coach Barnes doing a wonderful job over there. The whole team is looking wonderful. I know we had a tough loss the other day, but we're outstanding out there. Men's program, if you haven't watched the men's basketball this year or haven't watched, make sure you watch Kentucky. I think it's going to be an amazing game tonight. All right, women's basketball Sunday, 2 p.m., home versus Missouri. Make sure you check this out. We got tennis, men's tennis. Johannes Monday, SEC Player of the Week, 7-0 to start in single action. And that's our 60-second Vol update. Hometown Realty, proud sponsor of the Vols. Go Big Orange. All right, back into the show. So much going on. Isn't it amazing? Hey, if you're watching us, I know we've sent a lot of people to the game and kind of mentioning that in the Vol update. Follow all of our social channels, whether it's men's football, basketball, baseball. We've got you covered. We're sending tickets and sign autograph basketballs. We got some left. We're going to announce those here very, very soon, the rest of the season. And if you haven't went, it's a great experience, great for family. We see so many pictures on our social media where we're able to send people on the house. It's a great experience, great family time. I always say, look, sports is one thing, but it's kind of a cool thing to do it with your son or daughter or family, husband, wife. It's a good environment, and there's a crowd like no other in East Tennessee. Vol Nation is unbeatable, and so if you haven't been to a game this year, why don't you go on us? We're sending 2 people, 2 groups of people every drawing. All you got to do is like our social channels, like, share, and follow. That's it. Doesn't cost anything. It's on us, okay? Go Big Orange. All right, 10 tips getting ready for the spring. One of the most important things you can do, this is kind of where it's in between, guys. So we say, well, number 1, get a pre-inspection. What is a pre-inspection, Ryan? Well, it's where we get a home inspection and cover the major components. And so one of the first things I would encourage is what we were talking about on the first part of the show is get your agent out first. Have that meeting like a lot of my clients are doing, meeting with me, face to face with the name kind of thing, exchanging cards, talking marketing, and then getting just to kind of look at the property. So a lot of these things, if there's needed to be a pre-inspection, we can do them. Pre-inspections are really, really important, especially the big items, where you're going to check the attic, the crawl spaces. It's not where anybody really goes, right? And I want to make sure there's no water intrusion, especially with all the snow and the water and things that we've had. Check our roofs, things like that, AC, any kind of settling, foundation, things like that. Check the big things. because those are the big items. And the last thing you want to do is that we're hustling and bustling and moving and maybe moving across the country, right? Moving across the states, no telling. And then the last thing we're coming up with is a leaky roof or some moisture in the crawl space, and we're in the process of moving. And then we've got to deal with quotes and contractors and inspections. So the big items, do a pre-inspection. Always a positive on the major items, not necessarily everything. Now, the catch-all with that, there's always a catch-22, right? So the catch-22 of that is if we do find anything on a pre-inspection, that'll require you to disclose it and let them know. And so there is understandable that if you find something, you'll have to remedy it and correct it. But it's better to do it on the front end than have the whole house packed, have the moving truck packed, to find out that the inspection falls through for a combination of reasons. So number one, pre-home inspection is positive and a big plus on our list on the major items. Number two, any repairs. While you're working on that, we all have our honey-do list. I have a list that's pretty long at the house, but minor repairs before going to the market, especially if you know something needs to be fixed to get done before any buyers enter the home. If repairs aren't addressed in the initial offer, they will come up during the inspection, and that's so true. And I know a lot of people, a lot of great sellers that we have the home inspectors out here, and we feel like, I was dealing with one buyer now, he kind of felt like they were, how to put it nicely, he wasn't happy with it. Okay, let's say in kind words, he wasn't happy with the home inspector and thought it was a waste of money. Well, remember, home inspectors, their job are to find things wrong and look for those different things. As a great agent, a great broker out here, we've got to discern, right, what is cosmetic, basic stuff, and what is important. Buyers are looking for big items, and there may be a laundry list, but important repairs, safety, things that buyers are going to possibly want, we can go ahead and address those on the front end. And obviously, we have a group of handymen or contractors or things like that to make sure if you can't get to it, we can sub it out. Have a purposeful design. Make sure every room in your home has a purpose. You know, that's one of the biggest things about when you see new construction or different rooms that are designed. What room is the purpose? What is this room? I know some room we have flex rooms, right? What a flex room, it could be an office, could be a bedroom. And so when we're walking through some of the things to kind of think about when we're reselling this to a new potential buyer, new family, is what's the design of the room? You may have your dining room as your office with stuff all over the place, and you don't even use the dining room. I know we're probably guilty of part of that, right? The dining room becomes kind of a catch-all of different stuff. And so, but going forward, going on to the market, what will the new buyer think of this space? And so those are great opportunities. We may need to take that office and transform that dining room back to where it needs to be. Does that make sense? Because that is most important regarding on the market there is that opportunity. I think one of the opportunities in the marketplace as we go into the spring market, we're always going to talk about making sure curb appeal is there, right? We always talk, whether it's kind of hard now. I went to a property out in Cosby, great client there. And I was like, we need to do, as we hit the spring market, we've got to get some greenery. And as that comes, that goes back to mulching, landscape and things like that. Because one of the biggest things in real estate is 87% of people are starting where? Online, guys. They're starting their search online. I know with all of our properties, they have exclusive walkthrough tours where a lot of our people walking through out of state, they're all viewing people online. So it's digital. But when they come through in person, they're doing that what? Drive-by. They're doing the drive-by. People still get in the cars now. I know we have self-driving cars, but we haven't got to the part where we're not driving by, but we're still doing drive-bys. And they're checking out neighborhoods and location and the curb appeal. And it's so important to have a great curb appeal because the more inviting that the front of the property looks like, then the more likelihood they're going to call for an appointment. Vice versa, that if we don't have the landscaping looking nice, the mulch fresh, flowers looking good, if there's trees down over in the yard, if there's toys all over, or it just doesn't look inviting, you may deter showings. So curb appeal is on the top of the list, making sure we have strong curb appeal approaching the spring market. Now, there's a catch. Between February and March and some of April, sometimes where it's not as green. But we need to weigh that this year where we can get it as, we can invest in a little mulch. We can change a little bit of the bushes, things like that. We can clean up. We can power wash on the outside. Those are things that we need to do. Let's talk about timing. A lot of timing is this year. Obviously, you want to time the market perfectly, but it's also timing where you and your family make sense with what your plans are. Price it accordingly. Very, very important. Don't overprice it this year. We don't know what the market's doing. I know we want to get the most of it. We want to definitely, as we would say, have a little wiggle room, but don't price yourself out of the area so that you're sitting in the market for a long time. Know who your buyer is. Make sure they're pre-approved. Make sure we have large escrow money or reasonable escrow money, because if you don't, the buyer's not invested on the front end. What happens at the end? They're not invested on the end. And as things move forward, new properties come on the market, you don't know what buyers' minds think. You don't know how buyers change. And I'm a firm believer that we have more escrow. We have a stronger escrow, right? Less likely people are going to walk away from those deals. These things happen in a changing market, especially when more inventory is on the market. So all those things to think about in 2024. And most importantly, never forget the marketing. When it comes down to the spring market, in today's market in East Tennessee, you need an agent that's going to go out there and find the buyers, not only locally, but out of state. And if you're out in Sevierville and Gatlinburg market, got to find the buyers all out of state. Pretty much 85% are out of state. So marketing is key. Communication with your team, because it's teamwork to make it work, right? It's teamwork. We'll have a successful spring. I hope you've enjoyed this show. Great being with you every weekend. And if you happen to tune in here and you're thinking about selling this year, we're always here for you. You can check us out on the website. It's ryancoleman.org, or you can call us at the office at 693-SOLD. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Hope the kiddos win the games this week, and we look forward to seeing you back next weekend.